Oh, hello there, and welcome back to the adventures of Edrudel the Summoner. When last we left off, we had just been attacked by the Technic League, strange technical wizards who were obsessed with strange artifacts from another world. We're still trying to find the Stag Lord and end this strange pervasive fog. So, our journey continues into the woodline. Okay, so when last we left off, we were getting pretty close to the woodline here. What's this? Oh, that's right, we couldn't go this far into the fog. Darn. Amari has passed her trial, but even that doesn't seem enough for her. She demands we find another monster and let her prove herself in battle once again. You'd think she already gets enough opportunities to swing her sword. Well, at least we're in the Stolen Lands, where monsters are never in short supply. Okay, so I don't know what to do next. So what I am going to do is, I guess we can go to these glowy places, like the Old Oak and waterlogged lowland. Because I don't know what else to do, baby. I don't know what else to do.
You're the perfect height for stabbing someone in the groin. Why don't you do it? That's a winning move in any battle.
Well, it doesn't sound very heroic. None of the heroes from the books I've read ever did this.
Amazing. Oh my goodness, a random encounter. You've spotted the enemies. Fight! Let's warm up, shall we? Oh yes. Who is it this time? Might. Oh, he looks like a goblin. Oh my goodness.
Time for fun?
Mage armor. Do it, Edrudel. So we're surrounded by goblins, and they look ridiculous. That is the dumbest design for a goblin I've ever seen. Are they mites? What's the difference between a mite and a goblin? Are mites just stupid? They're stupid looking. One down. Well done. Good shooting, Edrudel. Look at, there's my little puppy. No, we need a name for our dog. He's like a little Shiba Inu. No, look at him. You're the only person I've ever loved.
Does anyone require my counsel?
I'm evil. You're my minion. Yes. Look at him go. Come, Flipsy. Yes, he's Flipsy.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt, yes. So I guess that's it. There's no more enemies, that's for sure. It seems like a weird random encounter to me, but I'll take the free XP.
Valerie, I have a hole in my shirt again. Could you mend it for me? You know your way around a needle.
If I pick up a needle for you, it'll be for sewing your dirty mouth shut.
I'm starting not to like him. Can I change him out? There you go, buddy. Let's get someone with a chipper attitude. Alright, we'll just level her up real fast. Look at her hair, that's great. She's a wizard. Great, good company. I will show you how it's done, my new apprentice, and I shall corrupt you and make you evil. Yes. It's a dark and foggy place. Where the hell are we? There's a giant rat, a crow. There's my doggy Flipsy.
I can see my destination.
To victory!
Holy shit! Looks like a giant troll. It's a man-eater troll. Oh my goodness. Octavia, go.
Consider me provoked.
Ooh, right in the butt. Nice job. Oh boy. Let's do hideous laughter. It worked. He's down. Well done, Lindsay. Now get out of there.
They go down! T. Go!
3 damage. I suck.
This is for you! I'll fight if I have to.
This is going very well for us. So far. Uh-oh. He's up.
You can't stop me.
He's almost down.
Any last wishes?
They go down!
Good job, team. Well done, Flipsy.
Focus on the goal.
Oh, there's a body over here. Hello? A light crossbow. It seems to glow or something. I'm going to give it to Lindsay. Oh, Lindsay, I have a new crossbow for you. Alright, well done, people, well done. So that was kind of random. Does that count as a large beast? Did Amiri like that?
What's the holdup?
How may I help?
Is there anything else over here? I want to be perfectly sure.
I will guide.
Whoa, more frog people. Inspire competence. Yes. Bless. Excellent, well done.
No fear!
I did not mean to do that. I am now in danger. Help me. I've made an error. Ooh, 20, nice. We must advance. We gotta move her closer to make us more competent. Tristan, help me!
Consider me provoked.
Good shooting, Octavia. And I shall do acid splash as well. Ouch! I forgot. One less. Good job, Amiri. Where you go? Oh, she's afraid. Oh no.
So it's come to this.
As for you, I don't think colors... Let's try Snowball. Excellent. Well done, Octavia. It was amazing. I mean, you have much to learn. Yes. Come on, Valerie. Oh, come on, Valerie. He's scaredy cat.
This is where I step in.
Even Lindsay's helping. And so they go down. Well done. Okay, so we're going to continue to explore this area.
I know mystic theology, arcane bombomancy, eldritch sciomancy, and many other clever words.
Yes, that is great. So with that, let's go to the world map. And today we will summon our first monster. That is my one goal. Okay, so we're over here. Where's the nearest glowy? The nearest glowy, Old Sycamore. What's this? A noble patriarch of the tree world. The old sycamore can be seen from miles around. No other sycamore in the area has grown as high. And the reason this one in particular reached its enormous size remains a mystery to the locals. Alright. So right now we're kind of looking for our enemies, a rival adventuring gang that might have a claim to these lands. And we're also sort of surveying the land. I think Edrudel would be trying to get familiar with the lands he's going to rule, as he's also trying to pacify them. I don't know why we can't go into the fog deeper. That's concerning. Okay, so I think we are over encumbered now, so we will actually go towards the trading post. Alright, we arrived at Oleg's trading post. With a delighted smile, Octavia inhales the smell coming from Oleg's trading post. Fresh bread. I can't believe it. All this time that we sat in cages and crawled in the mud, there were places in the world where they were baking fresh bread. Of course there was. And here we are. I bet they even have clean sheets. And maybe we can even take a bath. A girl can dream. Get some rest. You deserve it. To be honest, the food here is not very good. It depends what you compare it to. After the swill they gave us at the Technic League, a royal feast awaits us. Fair enough. You do so much for us. Is it all because you are kind, or maybe... The half-elf smiles flirtatiously. What? You're in a relationship. Maybe it's because you've been charmed by my beauty. Ooh, I am evil. Exactly. I would have never found the Technic League's encampment if your beauty hadn't beaconed me. Oh my goodness. Octavia laughs out loud. For a moment, something more than just friendliness flashes across her eyes. She says, "Oh, you are so sweet." Alright, enough talk. Fresh bread and clean sheets await. Not for long. I wet the bed. Okay. Oleg, a fine day to you. What brings you by? Show me your wares. Tuskcutter is dead. You could mount his head on the wall as a trophy. Oleg looks at the bloodstained boar's head with respect, touching its tusk with his finger to test how sharp it is. He says, "That's one heck of a beast. I'd love to have a trophy like that, but a deal's a deal. The head goes to the old Benzin, and his bounty goes to you." Show me your wares? Yeah. Because we need to sell some stuff.
There are many roads to success. I can see my destination.
Okay, we're gonna talk to Amiri. Oh, Amiri? She says, "Hey, Chief." Amiri gives you a broad grin. What's on your mind? Let's see. So, have you proven yourself to be a mighty warrior? He says, "I may have. The trial is finished. And if someone ever doubted me, I prove it." Amiri shakes her fist at the unseen offender. "Yes, well, I enjoy your enthusiasm. So, I'm chieftain of your new tribe. What do you expect of me?" She says, "Tribe always must have plenty of food. Tribe's enemies must be tough, not some easy scum. Tribe's fighters must challenge the strongest enemies." Now, I don't know if she's, like, humoring me, but I think Edrudel would take this seriously. In his eyes, this could be a way to control the population, the more savage aspects of the Wildlanders. I think he would latch onto that. Thanks for talking with me. Let's speak again later." Talking. When will we do some monster killing instead? Alright. So killing the troll didn't exactly work for her. Okay. So I guess that means we're going to go to the waterlogged lowland. Let's go. Very slowly. Ooh. We walked across the heath for a long time, yet no sight sprang up before our eyes. By turns, we discovered a verdant lowland, with several near-about springs streaming down behind another hillside. And then, in the distance, in the center of the lowland among the bush, there stood a single dry tree, a true giant. Its magnificent outline resembled an animal's paw, clawing at the sky. But what was truly remarkable, the flat landscape was dotted by mysterious dark humps. They were piled about the height of a man, and scattered about in abundance. we determined that we should explore the lowland. We had more important things to attend, so we explored. Duh, it's not a choice. The further we trekked, the softer the land became. Step by step, heath grass gave way to moss, low-growing shrubs and ferns, and then sloshy puddles of stinky swamp water. The muddy ground sucked at our feet, and soon our party was jumping from hassock to hassock. Finally, we reached the first group of mysterious humps and learned they were no mere hills but dugout dwellings. We moved with great care towards the center of the lowland, and there the real swamp began. On the way towards the mysterious giant tree, we saw the foggy outline of another hut, this one much bigger, and surrounded by small clay statues. Ooh. We examined the surrounding dwellings. We would not retreat and moved ever forward, towards the tall tree, determined to visit the big hut on our way there. We deemed it better that we stop struggling to push... We examined the surrounding dwellings. Inside the dugouts were frowsy and dark, darker than holes. What does frowsy mean? And filled with absolute desolation. There were no windows in these mud walls, no furniture or other homely items, except for the odd piece of tattered wicker. But every dwelling had a large hollow dug right in the center of the dirt floor like a fire pit, but taking up the greater part of the space. They were filled with standing water and reeked beyond description. Okay, we deemed it better that we stop struggling to push further. Yeah, press on. We walked slowly, carefully choosing our way, keeping to drier ground as much as possible. The further we went, the more difficult it became, and soon we were wading waist deep through the cattails. Frogs croaked loudly as we peered anxiously into the cloudy water, struggling to make out what shadows flitted along the bottom. Suddenly, Valerie staggered, spit out an oath, and flailed her arms. She made a wrong step, and, unable to pull out her foot, she called out loudly and began to sink into the vile green slush. Wary of another of us getting sucked into the bog, we decided to form a living chain. Standing next to each other and holding hands, we began to pull up our fellow traveler. Let's try that. Succeeded. Yay. Luckily, Valerie managed to keep her head above the water while we struggled to rescue her. Grabbing the nearest hand and pulling with all her strength, she freed first one foot, then the other. Hooray. The insatiable bog gurgled hungrily after us, but we didn't look back. Okay, maybe I did. Sodden and weary, we finally made it back to solid ground, and a palace of sorts rose before our eyes. A spacious hut made of mud like the rest, but decorated with pebbles, bones, cattail spikes, and snail shells. In front of the palace was a wide and shallow reservoir. Its green water reflected the leaves of huge ferns and primitive clay figurines. Buzzing of gnats was nearly deafening. We were not far to the center of the swamp, and a firm and steady path led there through the thick bushes. At its end, a tall, dry tree stretched mightily upwards, clawing at the firmament. Knowledge whirled, we carefully examined the clay figures, trying to fathom who they might portray. Yes, success. Goggle eyes, flat heads, with no necks, ears, or chins, ugly, long legs, unnaturally bent. These sculptures could only be the work of boggards, the frog people. Primitive, cruel boggart tribes had inhabited the swamps of Garund and Avistan since the olden days. Pitiless to the others and to each other, they were led by the darker instincts of their insane priest kings. They are known to grow young fry in the pools inside the houses. Alright. We peeked inside the hut. The palace was twice the height of the other huts, and its entrance was wide enough that 3 could walk abreast. The walls were decorated. An unknown builder had scratched drawings in the clay while it was still wet. The faded scrawl depicted huge amphibians devouring smaller figures, some frog-headed, others not. 3 of the 4 rooms boasted large holes filled with water, just like the other dwellings. Though here, There were steps descending into them, cut into the dirt. In the furthest room, we found equipment decorating the walls. Leather armor, spears, clubs. To our surprise, a number of items were well preserved. The hut was clearly deserted, so we felt no shame in taking some of it with us. We moved forward. My goodness, it was ever so lovely to walk once again along the well-trodden path. Our soaked clothes imagined being dry, and our mood at once lifted. The bushes that bordered the path seemed to wave at us amiably, with their juicy green leaves and shiny bright red berries. A fresh wind puffed away from the rotten smell, and it finally felt like the swamp might be nearly behind us. But then, the wind stopped blowing, and the thorny branches continued to move, and we heard a loud shout. Tristan, who was watching our rear, pointed to a surging, crawling wall of green filling in the path behind us. Oh no! The surrounding thicket was coming to life, its branches reaching out with a soft swishing sound. Drops of sap oozed from their thorns, gleaming in the emerald dusk. The path was disappearing. There was no way back, and the clear space ahead was closing. Mobility. We ran forward as fast as our legs could carry us, flying towards the closing passage. Success! As any experienced traveler can tell you, sometimes you walk and sometimes you run. The branches snatched at our feet, backpacks and clothes, and the sprouts tangled at our feet. But we slipped their grasp. We were too quick. Oh my goodness. Finally, after what seemed an endless trek, we came upon the gigantic dry tree that had so intrigued us from the beginning. Lo and behold, we saw an idol cut into its trunk, a huge horned three-eyed toad. Its googly eyes made it look both cruel and dumb, almost idiotic. Its muzzle hung half open, sharp-toothed, with several hanging tongues. Ugh. Deep brown streaks oozed from the corners of its mouth. Lore, religion. We tried to glean what sort of idol it might be. Success. There could be no doubt. This was Gogunta, master of the great swamp in the demon abyss. Oh my goodness. Gogunta is a demon lord of fetid swamps and serves as the sole goddess of the swamp-dwelling bogarts. Gogunta appears as a frog with many heads and even more eyes and tongues. Bogarts portray her as a huge queen of their kind, and the abyss is a plane in the outer sphere, dedicated to the rule of evil unfettered by law. It is accessible through huge rents in the maelstrom, opening into fiendish depths, vast beyond imagining. The abyss is possessed of many layers, strung together by the river Styx. Neat. But what is this? While we were examining the idol, a large, bright blue dragonfly came out of a hollow in the tree and sat invitingly on the very tip of one of the noses. It was so remarkably strange, it didn't react to our movements, and seemed quite content to remain where it sat. Suddenly, Edrudel the Summoner grabbed the dragonfly and held it in front of its mouth. Oh gods, did he just decide to eat it? A failed fortitude check. I heard a wet crunch, and I winced before I could look. I turned around, hearing a faint cry. Edrudel the Summoner had turned white and started to collapse. Oh no, we barely had time to catch him. After returning to life in a few hours, he told us amazing things. It turns out that Bogart's priests ate blue dragonflies to fall into hypnotic trances, where they could hear the will of the goddess, the demon lord Gogunta, the creator of all Bogart kind. In his dream, Edrudel the Summoner saw ancient times, how the Bogarts built their settlements, how they raided the neighbors and enslaved their children. Oh my goodness, how they held bloody rituals to honor bloated amphibian monsters, the roar of laughter throughout the dark centuries. And he saw a priest bury a stash of plundered jewelry in his hut, oh my goodness, rather than offering it to his cruel goddess. In return, the wrathful Gogunta sent a horrible plague upon his tribe, and that priest would be their last. We turned around to leave the abominable swamp. The flesh-eating bush grew quiet and gave way. On the journey back, we were sure to look inside the priest's hut and dig out the treasure that had once wiped out his entire tribe. That was awesome, I love that. I made a a strange know-nothing choice, and it turned out good. I wouldn't say that exactly played to my character, but maybe, it's like an eccentric way of deciphering its properties.